I'm Denny Smith for WIBC's Home and Garden Show, Saturday mornings 9 to 1. Hey, I tell you what, a lot of people write to me through the email at denny@wibc.com, and they ask me about, do I need a new water softener? Can my water softener be fixed? And basically, do I need a water softener? So let's talk about what water softening is. Water that comes from the sky is naturally soft, but as it hits the ground and as it sifts down through the soil, because we have a lot of calcium and magnesium deposits in the ground, by the time it gets down to our groundwater sources, it's picked up a lot of minerals. That's hard water. You'll hear people that in olden days they would collect rainwater because they could wash their hair in that. But with the water that came out of the well, of course, we had iron, we had calcium and magnesium, sometimes manganese, and a whole bunch of other things. Water softeners solve a lot of that problem because we remove calcium and magnesium from it and get it back to the soft water that God sends down from the heavens for us. But how does it work? That's the tough part. All right, this is called the resin tank. And in the resin tank, we have an ion exchange material that is designed to pull calcium and magnesium anions out and substitute them with salt. And you say, that's why I put salt in the brine tank. Exactly. The salt lays down in there, and it's mixing with water and it's becoming brine. It's that point that we're separating out the sodium ions from the chlorine ions, and then we flush them through the tank. 4 basic cycles. When the softener regenerates, what it's doing is it's dropping a little piston. And what it's doing is it's getting ready on an inclined plane to depress this brine draw valve. At the same time, you can see that this one is coming down, and this is positioning the piston assembly for a proper regeneration cycle. When we go through a regeneration cycle, the first thing we have to do is we have to get the salt water out of the brine tank. So we use a little brine valve, we depress a spring, it opens up a valve, and then through a Venturi effect, we suck all of that brine out of the tank and into the bed of the softener, which is this. This is a resin tank. And we let that come in. It takes about 12 to 13 minutes for that to get established in here. And what do we do with it when we get it in there? We just let it set. But then we mix it up. The next thing is that we backwash. And so that piston compresses again, and it moves the cam around to a different location so that as we have this piston in here, it comes up to a different cycle and it allows the water to go a different direction. Think about this as multiple gate valves that somebody's opening and closing, but we all have it in this one little piston. We bubble up in a backwash facility. We bubble all that brine up in here and we mix it up. It's called turbulation. And think about that, about putting a bunch of marbles into a washing machine and just mixing them all up. That's what's going on in here. That's the second step. We have the brine draw, then we have the backwash. Then we have the refill. The refill is when instead of bringing the water up from the bottom and mixing it up, we power it through the top and slam all that resin back down, and we pack it back down and get it next for the next cycle. That's how the cycles work. All right, so what do we want to do next? We want to get it ready to go back into service, and that's the last cycle. We have brine draw, we have backwash, we have refill, and then we have restoration of service. In the last one, all of the water's been focused in here. If you turn on a faucet at 3 o'clock in the morning during regeneration, this is all being bypassed and you're getting raw, hard water in. Once it's returned to cycle, which is the 4th step in the cycle, then it aligns all those little washers back up, and so then all of your water will be soft from that point on. Listen, if you have questions, give us a call on Saturday mornings on WIBC's Home and Garden Show. During the week, you can send Pat or me an email, denny@wibc.com or pat@wibc.com. But most of all, you tune in and listen to us Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on WIBC.